The Minister of Nigeria's Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has approved the immediate removal of 21 heads of parastatals, agencies, and government companies under the FCT administration. Director of Press, Office of the Minister, Anthony Ogunleye, stated this in a press statement in Abuja on Wednesday. The statement says the affected appointees were directed to promptly pass their office responsibilities to the most senior officers in rank. Ogunleye adds that appointments in the offices will be made in due course. Now joining me on the news to discuss this issue is the public affairs analyst, Nasir Wasagu. Good morning, Nasir, and thank you for joining us at this time.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for having me.
All right. So I know it's no news now. The Minister of the FCT, Nyesom Wike, actually approved the immediate removal of 21 heads of parastatals, agencies, and government companies under the FCT administration. Now, I would like to know your take on this decision, and what do you think could have warranted the immediate removal?
Well, thank you for having me, and good morning, everyone. I think, well, it's a mixture of two things. One, governance. Sometimes things like this happen, but in most cases, when politics take over decision-making processes, you get to have such decisions that you wake up with from the decision makers. You would recall that not too long ago, the federal government itself sack almost all our ambassadors and consulars the world over, and they're yet to make replacements. Now, sacking or relieving government officials from their offices may be something that we are used to, but leaving those offices, leaving the vacuum for a very long time, that is what will now prove as a burden for governance. But I don't see the shakeup as anything abnormal. This, if you notice, all the agencies are agencies that will help the minister to keep Abuja in shape, and all the services being provided in Abuja, of course, in shape. But we hope that the minister will make informed decisions and appointments in no time soon. Even though some of the agencies I know, like the water board, the GM of the water board, and some few others, were just recently made by the past administration, just at the twilight of the administration. But I hope that Mr. Minister will also try and put round pegs in the round holes.
All right, Nasir. Well, you already said that you don't see this particular cabinet shakeup as rare or even major. It's very normal to you. Now, but how might this administration shakeup, impact the efficiency and effectiveness of the FCT administration in the short and also the long term?
Well, in the short term, could be seen in two ways. One, of course, a vacuum for upward movement will be created for public officers. And then two, for any public officer getting into an office, knowing that that rule of hire and fire has been brought back to life if you don't live up to expectations if you're in your office. So in the immediate, of course, you know how we call it eye service or the rule of the thumb, and people would try as much as possible to try and meet up with the expectation of their bosses. If, for example, an Abuja Environmental Board director or the hospital management board or the water board, all of these vital social services, the MD or the chief executive coming on board would try as much as possible to ensure that these services are being provided in such a manner that will impress Abuja residents and, of course, impress his bosses. So on the short term, we may see some little bit of policy direction for good, but going on over a long time, if the round pegs are not put in the round holes, that might translate to bigger problems for these organizations, and would probably no concrete policy direction. And then again, you will now have to change them again. And a turnover of chief executives in any organization, it's not a good omen for the organization.
Earlier, you actually talked about eye service. While so many quarters are actually not surprised about this particular shakeup, many actually see this as a media frenzy in order to see that the minister is actually working. But in your opinion, do you subscribe to this? And don't you think that the minister is showing that it won't be business as usual?
Well, if you ask me, I am not really a fan of how some of our politicians take decisions to actually suit the gallery. And Mr. Minister of the FCT is, of course, one of such political office holders that I believe we do quite a few things for the gallery, to impress others soothsayers. I'm not really a fan of the massive shakeup because it means it is just a political decision. But if you take agency by agency, with the lack of performance or underperformance of the chief executive, and you fire that chief executive and appoint new one, you see all others sit up, and at least it will be result oriented. But in this case, that it's just a blanket cover on all. I would agree with those who think that this is just for the gallery, Photoshop, Photops, a kind of decision to make the minister appear good. But I don't think it will. It goes very well in terms of governance, because I don't think there were any reasons particularly to fire these people in terms of performance, and quite a few of them, are actually doing well, like the GMO, FCT Water Board, and so many other agencies that we know that have recently been appointed. They are actually changing the course of those agencies, and now the agencies have to start all over again. So I would agree with those who think that this is just for the gallery by the minister.
All right, thank you so much, Public Affairs Analyst Nasir Wasagu, for your insight on this.
My pleasure, anytime.